which way to go. And once porn decide, grab that one, because that's the one that's going to be the main one.
So you're saying when Oculus Rift has some sort of... so when the Oculus Rift has some sort of, like, fleshlight add-on, we'll know to get the Oculus Rift? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what happened with Blu-ray and HD. Porn went with Blu-ray and the rest is history.
Did they make a Blu-ray player with a fleshlight attachment?
I don't know. It must be somewhere around the world.
Jesus Christ.
Nick Phil, you're following Fred Durst. That was not the point. So
at least,
hey, Nick Phil, since you're doing that, go ahead and say, I came here because of Pixelgon podcast.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Whatever. We can bring him in the show.
And then Fred Durst will be pissed about it.
Yep.
I do know that VHS and Betamax had those attachments, so we're okay with that, but I didn't know Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, yeah.
So, back to topic. Jesus. So, we were talking about Minecraft. So, Minecraft is getting a Oculus Rift expansion. So the interesting thing about that is Minecraft's been out for what, like 7-8 years now? Minecraft, it's been fucking forever. How is it so popular still?
Minecraft is still always in the top 5 most selling games each month. I mean, non-stop. It has not dropped. And if it's dropped, it's number 6 or something. It's gone right up. It's been crazy. Now, I do like Minecraft. I respect Minecraft. I mean, it's a weird-ass fucking game, and kids freaking love it, and it's very artistic people are really do incredible works on that. And I have to say, if there's one game that will be great in VR, it is Minecraft. I mean, the whole game is just you going on in a complete 3D dimensional place and just build stuff. So I definitely see how this can work.
I'm not entirely sold on it. The data on Minecraft, I played the beta on PC when it came out. That would have been like 2007, I think is when I played it. And then it was officially released 2009. Mm-hmm. So it's been out for at least 8 years.
Nick Phil does a good point. It is the new Legos.
It is the new Legos.
Lego has not even dropped. Legos is still up there.
Yeah.
In fact, Dimensions is this Sunday, but I digress.
I'm not sold on it being... First of all, what kids are buying a Oculus Rift? Because that's what Minecraft is selling the most, right?
VR does. I mean, VR has always been pictured as the future, right?
Yeah.
But VR, well, in sci-fi and every novel and movie, whatever, it's like the future. Yeah. But VR does come with kind of like a bad flavor, which is people are gonna get detached from reality and into a virtual reality, and people are gonna get out, and it's gonna be news of people just losing reality and just being constantly in virtual reality. What parent is going to buy their kids VR equipment so they can play Minecraft? I mean, it's not really something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean porn. But...
porn, yes.
Minecraft?
No.
It's just, so, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see it being a system seller if that's what they're planning. I don't even know if it would work correctly. Like the perspective seems a little weird for first person, let alone 3D. I mean, it has this weird graphics. I did think the Zelda game, like Zelda 1, moved over was kind of cute. I actually have messed around with a Oculus Rift at a PAX or two. And the biggest problem with the Oculus Rift is motion sickness. Yeah. Which I got. I definitely got motion sickness. The new one from company I don't remember, that we were trying to remember, that one reduces motion sickness by whenever you enter a door or a new room, it flickers the screen a bit, so it goes like black and white, and then it goes to the next screen to give your brain a sense of actual transition.
Hand, please.
This is going well.
Yep.
That's our monster under the bed. Yeah. So she killed that chicken and brought the wings.
Yes.
So the interesting thing about that is that removes the motion sickness, because otherwise you get this weird sense of vertigo where you're moving but you're not moving.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. But just a simple change of changing it black and white like that is doing just to give your vision and your brain a sense of doing something. Yep. That fixed a lot of my problems with it. So I don't know if Oculus specifically is the future. Okay. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good plan for Minecraft to go that way.
Can we substitute the black and white screening the part with dick pics like they do in Fight Club?
I think that would just make people not want to do it at all.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. So I think that's all we had for news.
Yeah, news, that's pretty much it. That puts an end on that. So we want to move into what have we been playing, or shit that's interesting. That should be the name of this next
shit
segment.
That's interesting?
So
yeah, we'll fix it. So you can go first.
So shit's that interesting is I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, and that game is fucking amazing. Based on basically the prequel to the first Metal Gear, you play as Snake, Naked Snake, now called Venom Snake, also known as Big Boss, because you can't have just one fucking name. Before his race to be the bad guy you fight in the first Metal Gear for the Nintendo system. The game has blown everybody's mind. It is best thing after porn. It is just incredible. So, porn, that's the name of this episode.
That's the name of the episode. Yeah, I was just thinking that. That's all we've talked about.
So, so anyway, so Metal Gear Solid basically mixes everything you could possibly fucking want on a game and just puts it on, wrapped it on one beautiful package and delivers it. You have the story, although people are kind of like, oh, it doesn't have that many, that much story. It does have a fuckload of story. It's just given to you spoonful by spoonful. It has an amazing open world game system that is just amazing, where you just have to do every time you need to infiltrate a place, you have to plan it, put a there we go. So plan it, set up an escape plan, do everything yourself, and just it only gives you the goal. Go there and rescue this guy. However the fuck you want to do it depends completely up to you. Here's the tools that you have to do it. Just go ahead and do it. And it's just a fantastic game. It's a game that really respects my intelligence, which no other game does. And I really do recommend it. I mean, I've been playing hours and hours. Once you have your mother base, you just fucking keep on recruiting soldiers, building more bases, have your R&D team develop new weapons, new tools, new items. It's just off the hook. And I will never use off the hook ever again, because that's very 90s. But the game is fantastic. And
pretty rad of you.
We don't... Yeah, right? Yeah. So, we don't necessarily do reviews right here yet. But this is a game that if I would have to give 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5, it will definitely be it. It's going up there as being one of my favorite games of all time, and that's pretty much big to say, since my last favorite game of all time was Pokemon Red and Blue. So
yeah, that's high praise. Have you been enjoying the Farmville base making?
I have, actually. It's fantastic.
Because there's some microtransaction stuff, which I was a little wary about.
But it's optional.
Okay.
Completely optional. It's just, yes, it has the bait and switch thing where it's like, yeah, you don't have to pay it, but you have to wait.
You have to wait, yeah.
But the wait time is not that bad. And if you do the online missions versus the one that the game brings, it goes in real time. So you can just, before you go to bed, set up a few missions, go to sleep, or develop something. I mean, the developing is in-game, so you have to be playing for it to be working. But at least online missions, they do by themselves. The next day when you log in, here are the rewards. It is a fantastic game. It just really is good. Really is good.
I think you gave it 5 10s out of 5.
5 10s out of... Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds pretty much.
I think that's the scale.
Yeah.
So, what I've been playing, though, has been much more retro, because I haven't gotten into a lot of new games lately. So I've actually been playing Crash Bandicoot, the first one.
Classic.
Which has not aged super well, I have to admit. The biggest problem...
No PlayStation 1 game has really aged that well.
There's a couple. Like, Spyro has still aged really well. I think Spyro the Dragon really used the technology of the PlayStation, like, perfectly.
Yeah.
The problem with... Crash Bandicoot is typically with the camera. There's a lot of camera issues in the game where the camera's spaced too far back or too close, so you can't tell where the hell Crash is. There's a lot of issues with depth perception. So the only way to tell where Crash Bandicoot was on the screen was looking at a black circle on the bottom of the screen. So when there's levels that literally just have a black floor... and then, like, little platforms you're supposed to jump on, and, like, early 3D platforming, it's really annoying when the only thing you can do is look at this black circle and hope it crosses where you're trying to go.
Like every other PlayStation 1 game,
it's awful.
It's...
But
a feature of its time.
I remember liking the game a lot. I never finished it as a kid, and now I know why. I did finish it very recently for the first time. And it's still a really fun game. It's just incredibly frustrating due to a lot of unfair platforming. Yep. And it's not unfair because of the way it's designed. It's unfair well, it's a little bit of the game design.
Yep.
But it's unfair mostly due to poor camera and some poor decisions on just determining where your character is located. And that's stuff they could have tweaked. And the interesting thing about that is a lot of that was fixed in Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. So it's not really that big of a deal. It's just that Crash 1 was sort of like the first. So it's fair. Yep. But if you want to go back and still play a challenging platformer, I would still suggest Crash 1. I just don't think it's one of the better PS1 games like I thought it was before I replayed it.
I mean, it's a product of its time, right? So it's the first Bandicoot. We're talking about really early PlayStation 1. Yeah. So it's really limited, but it is a classic. And, it's Naughty Dog did that game, if I'm not mistaken. So it's one of... Right now they're doing, Last of Us, Uncharted. These guys have grown. We've seen them grow since... early 90s, so it's a wonderful journey. But
Crash used to be the mascot of PlayStation for a while. It used to be,
and
now he's just like
ugly one.
He's just dead.
He is.
There's nothing with Crash
here's
anymore.
The thing: would you ever want to like a reboot of Crash?
If it's so, I'd hesitate because if it was a Crash Bandicoot game, but it's still a 2D style like hallway platformer, I'd be fine. If they turn it into a 3D collectathon, it's not Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
And they'd be more likely to do a racing game than like Crash Team Racing or Bash, like Crash Bash or something like that. They'd be more likely to do something like that than actual Crash Bandicoot. Because those games sell better, because it doesn't have to be a Crash game. It can just be a random racing game they put Crash characters in.
Yep.
Which is what they did a lot. Back in PlayStation days, there was also 007 Racing, because... if you're a fan of 007, you're like, I want a racing.
I want a racing. And
I want a racing game.
Instead of was it grenades that threw each other instead of shells?
It was fucking awful. Whatever. It was a bad game. But Crash Bandicoot 1 is what I've been playing. So I would still suggest it, but I'd be very cautious because it is a very frustrating game at times.
Yeah. Yeah, so. Definitely. One game that, since we still have time on our... one game that I went back and played, and I was dedicated to play the whole thing, the whole trilogy, was Metroid Prime. Now, Metroid Prime was definitely an excellent game.
Yeah.
And it was a hard pill to swallow when I found out that it's a fucking confusing game by today's standards. Because, okay, so we're used to, nowadays, to have our hands hold it.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Metroid is all about exploring and backtracking. Mm-hmm. So the first Metroid Prime is all about, okay, so you've killed this monster. I'm not going to tell you where you have to go next. You have to navigate through the whole damn freaking game for freaking 2 hours before it says, oh, by the way, let me help you out. You have to supposed to be here.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up clearing 12% in about 7 hours.
Yeah, I mean...
And stopped.
A lot of the joy of that game is exploring. But yeah, I mean, I didn't get very far in Metroid Prime either when I played it a while back. For very similar reasons. I just got lost. And I didn't feel like... I mean, I could have just picked up a guide.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I was kind of expecting a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I lost interest in it.
It is a great game.
Yeah.
I'm not dishing on it. It is a great game. It's just not a game for me right now.
Yeah.
Well, at the time.
I think we're ready to move on that.
Yep. So we have variety minutes here, so we can discuss something awesome about nerd gaming. So here's my question to you: the 90s, awesome for awesome gaming. So I ask you, Hand.
Don't worry about it.
So I ask you, what was the platform, the console that defined your childhood?
So, okay, so that particular question is tough for me, just because my childhood has been split up between many consoles.
Yep.
They're all Nintendo consoles. So, our first console ever as a kid was the NES, and I have very fond memories of that with me and my sister playing it. And then I got a Super Nintendo at a garage sale.
Yeah.
For $20.
Whoa!
And I had, like, 8 games, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Super Mario All Stars,
which was a must buy for that era. You have to have Mario All Stars.
Super Mario World. I had a ton of good. Like, it was a really good buy. And my sister and I played the